when Peter was told, "Get behind me, Satan," he realized that he was doing the will of the world, which is not the will of God. So therefore, I ask you, how many times do you, or how many times do I myself have to do the will of the world and ignore God and just only ask Him, only come to God whenever we need something? How many times? How many times do we have to do that? How often do we have to keep ignoring God whenever He told us, do not follow the will of this world, but instead follow my will? Because this world is not going to save us, but He will, right? And I had to think about that every time I do something stupid. I have to sit down and say to myself, like, this is not what the Lord wants me to do, but this is what I want to do because this is what everybody else are doing. And you come to a realization that you don't have to follow everybody. You don't really have to follow everybody. You just have to follow the will of the Father, and therefore you will be saved. And a lot of people will ignore that, say, I don't want to be saved. Okay, it's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to be saved. I get it. And most of us who are, following the will of Christ, we're not saying we're perfect. We're not saying we're better than everybody. We're just saying that we're trying to get as close as possible to Christ so that we can also not just bring ourselves, we can also bring other people. Because what Christ teaches us is, don't just bring yourself. Be a fisher of men so that we can fill the heaven with as many people as we can. So we can have as many people as we can be saved. Instead of just doing pleasure things like drugs, alcohol, sex, and things like that. You don't necessarily need to do those. You don't have to do any of those. You have to put respect in yourself and just go with God. That's pretty much it. So that's my message. Don't follow the will of this world.